Sure. So my name is Irvin. I'm the co-founder and executive director of the New Orleans Abortion Fund. We provide financial assistance to people seeking abortion care here in Louisiana. We do that by partnering with our local clinic, Women's Healthcare Center, as well as making pledges or financial pledges into other clinics where people might be going, including the clinic in Baton Rouge and Shreveport, and clinics even farther afield. People might know us for our many fundraising events, which are very creative in nature. We have recently hosted the Taco and Beer Challenge, and our upcoming Sex Ed Bingo is later in October, and as well as many other events throughout the year. But they're events that are as much about fundraising as they are educational and movement building, gathering people, our community of supporters in one place to sort of celebrate NOF's mission and talk about the current restrictions that are in place, or even legislation that is before the legislators at the State House. So we do that throughout the year. Certainly during the legislative session, we are in Baton Rouge testifying against anti-choice bills, as well as talking with the media and engaging our members and supporters, encouraging them to contact their legislators to oppose bills. Well, I would say that there are many challenges to fulfilling our mission, although we have tremendous support from our members and volunteers in New Orleans and throughout the state. But the primary challenge is the state and federal bans on insurance coverage of abortion. So that paying for an abortion is essentially a cash transaction. Folks either have that money on, in a credit card or in their savings account to pay for that healthcare service, or as we know, they're putting off paying rent, they're buying fewer groceries, they're pawning possessions, and they're borrowing from friends and family to pay for what is still a safe and legal healthcare procedure. So certainly the insurance bans are a challenge, as well as the limited number of clinics in Louisiana. There are just 3 clinics in the entire state, one in New Orleans, another in Baton Rouge and Shreveport. So we already know that many people are not receiving the care that they want and need due to access barriers. So with just 3 clinics, people are having to travel further. They may have to spend a night in a hotel, certainly time away from their work, which means fewer wages perhaps, or additional childcare costs. So all of these factors contribute to making the procedure very expensive for people. And again, without the support or the coverage of insurance, it's just basically money that has to come out of their pocket. Well, certainly people should have access to abortion care without limitations. It should be covered by insurance. We should have ample access to abortion clinics and clinics that provide women exams and support women in their healthcare choices. Additionally, we need better policies that support women in a variety of ways, including equal pay for women, living wage for families. We need additional early childcare services and childcare education opportunities, better schools, and better communities for our families. We want to not only address the barriers to abortion access, but the barriers that families experience who are raising children or want to have more children. So without better policies, it makes it very difficult for people to bring more children into the world. Well,
do you have any favorites?
Well, I would say that there are so many people that come to mind. The New Orleans Abortion Fund has certainly been supported by many creative people and musicians and artists and comics. In June, local restaurateurs came together and hosted the Boozy Bake Sale. There were over 50 restaurateurs who put that event together. We raised $40,000 that we split with Planned Parenthood. So there's a growing support among creative culture bearers here in New Orleans. I would say my favorites are the local comics because they have really been there for us from the beginning. Each January around the Row anniversary, we host a Roar into Row event where local comics get up and do stand-up and tell their favorite jokes, including a few abortion jokes and sex ed jokes. And I'm just thinking of Camille Roan and Paul and Ben and Mary. And there's so many people, comics especially, that are part of that event. And for me, comics are some of the bravest people. They get up there and talk about issues that folks perhaps are reluctant to, and they do it in a funny and humorous way and try to engage people. So I think that comedy is a way of reaching people about an issue that perhaps they haven't given a lot of thought to. I'll mention last night I was in Baton Rouge for the Abortion AF tour that Liz Winstead of Comedy Central is putting together. She's been doing this tour across the country for several years now and made a stop in Baton Rouge yesterday. And so Liz is a comic that people, nationally renowned comic, and someone who's taken her talents and skills and put it towards educating people about abortion access throughout the country and supporting clinics particularly. And each stop they not only put on a comedy event, but they then do provide support to the local clinics there and really support the staff and the providers, because while us activists are out here talking to folks and gaining support for the issue overall, there is people working in clinics every day providing quality care, and there are often times with people that go unacknowledged or unappreciated sometimes, and they're really the front lines of this work. So I really appreciate Liz's work and certainly all the comics that join her in that tour every year. It's a busy fall for us, but we have some great events. As I mentioned, we've already kicked off the season with our Taco and Beer Challenge that we held at Always Lounge. But upcoming is our annual Sex Ed Bingo. It's going to be on October 30th at Catahoula Hotel. If you've not participated in the past, you definitely want to come out. We do rounds of bingo that are focused on sex education, abortion access and restrictions, as well as the most fun and I think engaging one is the slang. So you get to learn a lot about sex-related slang and sayings, and so it's really fun, and we always get a good turnout. We'll have prizes and certificates and things like that for the winners of each round, but it's one of our most popular events and actually one of our signature events. We've been doing it since 2013 when we began providing pledges to our clients here in New Orleans, and it is a fundraiser, and so all that money goes to providing abortion care here in our community. So we have assisted more than 1,500 people here in southern Louisiana, and steadily grown our average pledge from $60 when we first started to nearly $500 now. So we really do have a lot of support here in New Orleans, and we want to continue to grow that support and reach new people. We've seen a tremendous amount of support in the last few months following the passage of the 6-week abortion ban in June, and I think people are beginning to realize the difficulty of accessing abortion and how important this healthcare service is to our community. So I really encourage folks to come out on October 30th for Sex Ed Bingo, have a good time, meet other like-minded people, and just connect with our supporters here in the community.